Hello, boat passenger. You just step onto the Train To Gading. We bring you the urban British legend, horror stories, dan conspiracy theories, all centered around public transport. I'm Raditya Ali.
And I am Uncle. If you ever caught civil while riding the train, this maybe we're not alone.
So, what are you going to talk about on your trip afternoon?
In afternoon, we're diving into how the train stories, ghostly figures that vanish into thin air, phantom train that never arrive, and station with a terrifying past. So hold on tight and don't look over your shoulder.
Especially, you are on late night train video. Before we jump straight into our creepy story for afternoon, let's introduce our two special guests that will be joining for afternoon's trip.
Halo, ya. Thank you for joining us to Guiding Train. It's a pleasure for us to be invited here. Heard that story about Manggarai Station? No?
Yeah, you're right. So basically, the Manggarai Station has been there since like the Dutch colonial era, right? And you can expect so much history inside the station.
And of course, with the story come ghosts.
Alright, how did story start? This story I heard the story from my uncle, and it happened like many years ago. And the story is Girly, Dandy, Bintang, and Rico.
Yes.
And Loki. There were 6 people in the band.
This is new. I don't think I've heard a horror story about a group of bandmates yet. Are you sure this is real?
Now, probably you have to hear until the end of the story. You won't believe it.
Passionately. Um, as I was saying, they had a schedule to perform in Bogor, which is far away, right? Oh.
Yeah, and at that time, it was near their midterms exam, right? So, of course, their parents wouldn't allow them to go. But since it was their high school days and they were like really rebellious teenagers, they decided to go either way.
Oh, I think everyone will choose to spend their day of high school with their friend.
They had to bend the rules a bit, create the master plan to go to Bogor. So they were using IRL to go to Bogor, because if they use the car, that would be suspicious for their parents, because their parents basically didn't allow them to go to Bogor. Oh no!
Right, and they
Bro.
told their parents that they had a group work, right? And if it went too late, they would just have a sleepover at someone's house. At least that's what they told their parents.
So that's the backstory all of this. Did their parents find out about them sneaking out?
The next day, the group planned to meet at Manggarai Station at around like 6:30 p.m. But suddenly, Loki couldn't join them.
Of course, of this hooky guy.
They are like obviously upset, right? But it was fine, I guess, as long as Loki came into the station before 10:30, because that's where the last train is.
Oh damn! I swear I could already guess where this story is going.
Lee, don't spoil the story
Alright, I'm sorry.
with your conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
You see, they kept like waiting and waiting and waiting until it was until the clock struck 9 p.m. At that point, they were all so pissed off at Loki. Like, all of them were texting, "Where the hell was he?" I mean, like the initial plan was at 6:30, right? But he still didn't show up.
But actually, just when as it hit 10 p.m. and the cafe was about to close, Lucky called Vintar, and he was like, "Where are you guys? I've been here for an hour trying to call everyone, but no one answered."
What? But are you sure he was still on his way?
Yeah, that's when the strange things started to happen. By this point, the train was supposed to stop at the first stop, which is the bus station.
But the weird thing was, when he opened his eyes again, it was exactly like on the street. Except the monkey was the only one that awake besides him. And that was real and almost intended attack. Like, wake up!
And turns out, Cookie was right. They were actually at the Manggarai Station. So basically, when they got off the train, they all felt something was off. Like the air just felt so eerie, and everything looked like it was set in the bad days. Like it didn't look like a station from the new days.
Because apparently with
So now it was the five of them, and Hulky was all alone, God knows where.
Nah, bro. Hockey lost cause if we're them, I would not leave him the moment he was gone.
Bro, that's cool.
But what else are you supposed to do?
Anyways, while they were arguing since themselves, you guys could never guess what's the next.
He sent endless messages. He was all like, "Where are you guys? Disappearing isn't funny. Do you know how much I'm worried about you five?" They all looked so confused. It looked as if they were the ones who was missing and not full. Can you at least just come to us?
Bro.
And to that, they got one very confused reply from him. I'm in Jakarta. What are you guys all about?
Chills, absolute chills. What exactly happened to them? How did they just disappear?
Well, they didn't actually disappear. Apparently, in the morning, Poki went out to find the five, right? And then when he got near the Manggarai Station, he saw all of them unconscious, laying on the field next to the station.
He called the ambulance and immediately escorted them to the hospital. When they woke up, they were all surrounded by their parents and even some of their classmates. Everyone had thought that they were really strangers who got drunk and passed out on the field.
No one believed them.
Of course, no one would believe. They had zero evidence of anything happening that night. The station even closed early that day.
No way! No way! It makes so much sense now.
They were being led by this version of Hulky go to the station.
I think your uncle is telling the truth. There's no way everything was just a hallucination. What do you think?
Bro, honestly, all I can think about is what if we're just on a train right now, thinking we're recording a podcast, but we're actually.
No, stop. We're not doing that.
Alright, passenger, that's all for today's ride.
Once again, thank you for Mutia and Daryl for sharing with us today's story. I don't think I could even sleep after all this.
Thank you guys for letting us share the story with all of you guys.
And I'm a pleasure for being invited in this podcast, Train To Gading.
Yes. Of course, yes.
Well, if you have more stories, then maybe you both could make a comeback again with us.
Yeah.
But before we go, have you ever experienced something creepy on a train?
If you have a spooky story, send it us. Maybe we'll new future episodes.
Until then, stay safe, and if you ever find yourself alone on a train with just your friend, just remember one of you might not be who they seem to be. Sweet dreams!